Fantastic. Welcome. If you are watching this on the replay, please let me know in the comments where you're watching it from. We just had a webinar today. We had some other stuff going on, and I'm just doing some informal data collection to see where people are connecting from. So I'd love to know where you are connecting to this video from, where you're located. If you could let me know, I'd super appreciate it. And so I'm actually excited to jump into this topic today. And I'm always excited to do these Facebook Lives, but I'm really excited to do this topic for so many reasons. Today, I want to jump into and share with you what I feel, and really what can be argued is the number one problem the majority of entrepreneurs have that nobody talks about. And I want to talk about why no one talks about it and how you can get over this problem. And so, hey, Nabita, thanks for being here. What's up, Raji? Thank you, brother. Hey, if you guys could share this or put it out there, I would really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. And so let's jump in. I want to talk about the number one problem that entrepreneurs have and why no one talks about it. So first, I want to start with a story. I want to start with kind of an anecdote. So I'm 48 years old. I started in the online market space with an online business for the first time in 2007. Prior to that, I'd been in real estate, and prior to that, I'd been a consultant. And so really my online marketing business space is about 14 years of being in this space specifically. And hey, Rick, thanks for being here, man. In the 14 years I've been in this space, I have heard a presentation from someone on stage over and over again that sounds something like this. And so let me set the scene for you. It's usually at a business event, and the person on stage is talking to people about how to get started up, how to find the right product to sell, how to get some traction, how to create a business and move forward. And then they start talking about what type of market you want to address. And they say things, and this is the pitch. The words are different, but the sentiment is the same every time. It's you want to find a market where people are ready for you. And here's how it's explained. There's several different types of markets. Let's look at the least desirable type of market. The least desirable type of market is where people don't know they have a problem, they don't know there's a solution, and they don't know you're the solution. If you choose that market, you're going to have to explain the problem to them. You're going to explain the solution to them. Then you're going to have to sell yourself. You probably shouldn't do that one. Now, the second type of market is where people know they have a problem, but they don't know there's a solution, and they don't know you're the solution. They just know there's a problem there. Well, that market's a little more desirable because at least they're acknowledging the problem. They know that they have a problem, but they don't know the solution. Now, the third type of market is the market where people know they have a problem. They know there's solutions out there. They don't know you're the solution. This would probably be the most desirable for you because all you have to do is convince them you're the solution to the problem they already know they have. And that is how many of you have heard this? If you've heard this, just in the comments say, I've definitely been there. I've heard it. I heard the pitch. Because here's what's happening every time that is shared with a room full of entrepreneurs. We're basically told if someone doesn't understand the problem that they have, don't go help them. And so that's why I feel like the number one problem in entrepreneurship is one that we don't talk about. And here's why. And that's why. Here's the number one problem. Entrepreneurs don't have a strategic plan. Now, if you gather together 100 entrepreneurs, and I can tell you this based on how many entrepreneurs we talk to on a monthly basis, and you ask, what is the biggest problem in your business right now? In 100 entrepreneurs, here's what you're going to find. About 95 of them will not mention strategic planning of any kind. They'll blame their problems on something else. 2 or 3 of them will have a strategic plan and tell you, I've got these other problems because I have a strategic plan. And there will be a couple of entrepreneurs that say, you know what? I don't think I have a plan. I need help. I don't really know where we're going next because they have the awareness of the problem. The vast majority of entrepreneurs don't even know this is an issue. And and this is such a massive issue in entrepreneurship. Here's why in entrepreneurship, here's why it is hurting you so much when you don't have a plan. In fact, when I say this is the number one problem in entrepreneurship, let me qualify that. When I say not having a strategic plan is the biggest problem we have, it's for anyone who's beyond the point where you now have even one team member. As soon as you have a single team member, I think it actually starts before this, but as soon as you have a single team member, you must start creating a strategic plan for your business if you want it to grow as fast as possible. If you don't have to have a strategic plan. You can do it by project plans. You can kind of overwhelm yourself. You can do a lot of the work yourself. You can continue to do a lot of the work yourself. But if you want to have a business where you can grow and scale without giving up your life, where you can grow and scale and still have a life and still do what you want, and if you want to have a business that actually creates freedom, then this is what's holding you back. Let me explain to you why. When you don't have a strategic plan in your business, these are the conditions that are present. Number one, you're guaranteeing you are the biggest bottleneck. If you don't have a strategic plan in your business, your team must go through you to get the information they need to do their projects. So they're always going through you. This means definitively you are the biggest bottleneck in the business. Now, if you create a strategic plan and you present it to your team and everyone knows where you're going and it's impossible to misunderstand and easy to understand, and they all know the outcomes they're driving towards, now your team can get out in front of you. You move out of the way of being the biggest bottleneck. Your team gets out in front of you and they can go pursue outcomes. They can make things happen and you can coach their success along the way. So not having a strategic plan is causing massive issues in everyone's business who doesn't have one. In fact, when you talk about entrepreneurial overwhelm, one of the most overwhelming feelings in a business for the entrepreneur in charge is that we feel like we're doing it all ourselves. In fact, it's worse than doing it ourselves. It feels like we're doing it all ourselves, but then we hire help and we still end up tethered to doing everything. Have you ever felt this way? I know that when I was in my 20s, and I grew my first business, I didn't understand strategic planning. I didn't understand how important this was. So I didn't have a strategic plan. And I always felt like I was delegating something and it would bounce right back to me. I called it boomerang delegation. I was like, here you go. Ooh, it's coming right back. And it happened over and over and over again. And the reason that it happened was there was not a global strategic plan. There wasn't clarity as to what people were really doing. They didn't understand what they should be doing to move the company forward and to move the business forward. And now here is probably the biggest challenge to not having a strategic plan. You are not clear on what you and your team can do. Here's what I mean by this. In the absence of a strategic plan, it's get everything done all at once and right away, or work on all the projects, or do as much as you can, but you're not setting up what you're going to execute. So when things are done, you don't really know what you're capable of. Let me give you the other side of that coin. When you create a clear, written strategic plan for the next 30 days, you have perspective as to exactly what you and your team are focused on, working on, going to move forward. You then execute that strategic plan and you see how much of it you were able to get done. And you know what happens? You know better what you can do in the next 30-day period. Then you do it again. You create that strategic plan, you execute, then you look at it for perspective and you know what you can do in the next 30-day period. And after you've done this for 2 or 3 30-day periods, you actually start improving with how much you can get done as a team. After you've done this for 6 months or 9 months, you actually start understanding how well your team can execute in a period of time and you start getting more out of it. And once you've been doing this for even longer, you and your team instinctively, methodically, systematically will crush through your goals because you know what you're capable of and you now have perspective as to what you're actually doing. This is a huge issue in entrepreneurship. When we don't have clarity as to where we're going, everything is challenged. In fact, entrepreneurs, we're that small percentage of the population. If you've heard me before, you've heard me say this. We get up in the morning, we travel into the future, create a new reality, come back to the present, and we demand it becomes real. And here's the issue. If we go out into the future and create a new reality and we come back to the present and we don't create a plan, the only person who understands that future is us. That means anybody involved with helping us with it, anybody involved on our team, anyone who's trying to keep up with us, the only person who knows where we're going is us. So we are guaranteeing we will always be the biggest bottleneck. We will always be overwhelmed. We will always get gotta minutes and interruptions on and on and on until we finally create a strategic plan, show it to our team, help them understand it, and we execute together and move forward fast. Now, going from no plan to having a plan is absolutely life-changing. You know, I often think of our members when I talk about not having a strategic plan because so many of them were plateaued. So many of them were stuck. So many of them were frustrated because they weren't moving forward. I think of some members that just rejoined our program this week. I'm so excited to have them back. Ashlyn and Wallace Nelson, they are incredible entrepreneurs. They run a wholesale supplement company, a supplement company that helps other people get into the supplement business. And when we started working with them a few years ago, they didn't have a strategic plan. They were running I think it was about a 30-year-old supplement business that was a family business that Wallace had taken over. It had been plateaued forever in between 5 and 6 million for a long time. And so they came into our program and we helped them create a strategic plan. And on a strategic plan is all the projects, that you're going to achieve, the policies you're going to put in place, the processes you document, the people you're going to promote, hire, or have do something for you or delegate to. So all 4 P's: people, policies, process, and projects. And they put all of their everything they were doing into a strategic plan. And after struggling to grow past 5 or 6 million for years, I mean, this is a 30-year-old business that had been stuck for years. They put together a strategic plan, and within the first 12-month period post-plan, got up to almost $9 million. We're talking about a company that was stuck for years at under 6, goes up to 9, almost 50% increase in the size of the business in under a year from creating a strategic plan. When you have clarity of your plan, it creates confidence in where you're going. It gives you massive commitment. You will go all in and grow your business like crazy. So if you are an entrepreneur who has a business and you've hired your first team member or 2, or even if you have a larger team, like when Wallace and Ashland came to us, they had a team of dozens of people. And if you have a team and you're ready to start getting more out of your team, you're ready to get out of being the biggest bottleneck, and you want to grow your business fast, reach out to us. Go to billionairecode.com. The Billionaire Code is a framework I created that shows you how to go from 0 to $100 million as an entrepreneur. It will give you a ton of insight into where your business is. And even more importantly, when you go to billionairecode.com, you can set up a call with a member of my team. Let us talk to you about the products we have that will show you how to create a strategic plan, communicate it effectively with your team, and grow and scale your business in a way that's predictable and fast. You know, I often share with entrepreneurs, we help people grow their business predictably. Here's what that means. You're creating a plan and you're knocking it down. Some of them say, but predictable seems slow. It seems kind of boring. Well, predictable is anything but slow or boring. Wallace and Ashland went from $6 to $9 million in under a year. We've had other members that have taken a business from a couple $1 million to tens of millions of dollars in 2 or 3 years. When you create predictability in your business will explode. Go to billionairecode.com. We would love to connect with you and understand how we can help you. Set up a call with my team. I guarantee you'll enjoy it. You'll be talking to one of our coaches. We don't have salespeople, and I can't wait for them to connect with you. So billionairecode.com. Go set up a call now, talk to my team. Let's see if we can help you create a plan so you eliminate the number one problem that entrepreneurs have, and you can get into momentum like you never have before.